What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Lerone Murphy, who was set to face Movsar Evloev at UFC London, has reacted to the result of the Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez fight. Speaking in a recent interview, Murphy shared his thoughts on the main event and admitted that watching the fight was both motivating and frustrating for him. When asked if he watched the bout over the weekend in the UK, Murphy said he had followed it closely and felt that most fans already knew how the fight was going to play out. In his view, Volkanovski once again showed why he sits at the top of the division. While he acknowledged that Diego Lopez made some adjustments and looked better than before, Murphy believes Volk simply had his number from the start. He said that Volkanovski looked sharp, composed, and in full control throughout the fight. However, Murphy admitted that it was difficult to watch because he felt that he should have been in that position himself. Seeing someone else compete for the title reminded him how close he is to that opportunity. Despite that frustration, Murphy remains focused on his next challenge and said he is ready to move forward with his upcoming fight. He confidently stated that if he had been the one facing Volkanovski at UFC 325, he believes he would have gotten the job done. He made it clear that his comments were not meant as disrespect. Murphy praised Volkanovski as a great fighter who is on top for a reason. Still, he explained that while watching the fight, he noticed several openings and situations where he feels his own style and decision-making would have made a difference. For Murphy, the performance only reinforced his belief that he belongs among the very best in the featherweight division. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Following UFC 325, the official rankings have been updated across several major divisions, bringing plenty of surprises and talking points for fans. Alexander Volkanovski has climbed above Alex Pereira in the pound-for-pound rankings, solidifying his position among the sport's elite. In the featherweight division, Lerone Murphy has moved up one spot, continuing his steady rise. At lightweight, Benoit Saint-Denis has surged to 5th place, while Mauricio Ruffi has made one of the biggest jumps, climbing 5 spots to land at number 9. In the heavyweight rankings, Tuivasa has somehow managed to hold on to his place in the top 15, while Talison Teixeira has moved up 4 positions to sit at number 11. Meanwhile, Shavkat Rakhmonov has been removed from the welterweight rankings after suffering another knee injury, raising concerns about his immediate future. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley continues to stand out as one of the biggest stars in the UFC today and is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous and creative strikers in the bantamweight division. Alongside his success in mixed martial arts, he also has experience competing in professional boxing, which has kept the door open for future crossover opportunities. In a recent video on his YouTube channel, O'Malley shared his thoughts on Zuffa boxing and addressed the possibility of competing there in the near future. He admitted that he is extremely curious about where the promotion is heading and how it will develop. After seeing several promotional campaigns, he explained that he believes the platform will eventually need to sign a true superstar, someone who captivates fans and makes people feel like they absolutely have to tune in and watch every fight. According to O'Malley, building that kind of momentum is key for any boxing organization, especially one trying to establish itself in a competitive market. While he acknowledged that it may take time, he also said that the project clearly has potential and that Dana's involvement gives it credibility and direction. O'Malley then spoke openly about his own interest in boxing. He revealed that he would love to transition into the sport at some point in his career, even if the fights are not massive blockbuster events. He mentioned that a high-profile matchup like Sugar versus Gervonta Davis would be exciting, but he is not obsessed with chasing that level of attention right away. Instead, he explained that he prefers a slow and steady approach. Currently holding a 1-0 boxing record, he said he would be happy to face opponents with similar experience, such as fighters who are 3-0, 4-0, or 5-0. His goal is to be built up properly, gain real experience, and grow naturally within the sport. When it comes to money, O'Malley made it clear that he is not chasing outrageous paydays in boxing. He joked that he does not need $5 or $10 million for these early fights. He would be satisfied with reasonable pay, even just a few $100,000, as long as he gets meaningful opportunities to compete and improve. For him, the focus is on enjoyment, development, and testing himself in a new environment. O'Malley believes his striking style, movement, and creativity could translate well to boxing, making the transition both competitive and entertaining. Ultimately, he sees Zuffa boxing as a potential platform to explore this passion while continuing to build his legacy across combat sports. Moving on to another news, there has been growing talk about a potential super fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia, a matchup that many fans believe could become one of the biggest in UFC history. The idea of these two champions colliding has sparked massive debate, especially because of what it could mean for Ilia's legacy if he chooses to move up in weight. Speaking on his Defro MMA podcast, Jorge Masvidol shared his thoughts on the possible showdown and did not hold back in his praise. According to Masvidol, if Ilia were able to defeat Makhachev, it would turn him into a mythological figure in the world of mixed martial arts. He explained that no fighter in UFC history has ever managed to win 3 belts across different divisions, and accomplishing something like that would place Ilia in completely uncharted territory. Masvidol admitted that, as things stand, it would be an extremely uphill battle for Ilia to move up to 170 pounds and defeat Makhachev. The physical size, strength, and experience of Makhachev at that weight would present enormous challenges. However, he added that if Ilia somehow managed to pull it off, there would be no argument left about his greatness. He said that at that point, Ilia would have to be placed in his own category, above legends like John Jones and GSP. Masvidal emphasized that nobody would be able to question his status anymore. Fans and critics alike would simply have to accept it and say, yep, he did it, because the achievement would be undeniable and historic. Masvidal also explained that not all multi-division champions are created equal. He pointed out that some fighters have won titles in different weight classes without truly facing the best opponents in those divisions. In his view, there is a major difference between holding belts and actually defeating elite champions in their prime. He highlighted Ilia's recent path as an example of true greatness, fighting Alexander Volkanovski in his prime and finishing him, facing Max Holloway at his peak and dominating him, then moving up to challenge Charles Oliveira and beating him, already places Ilia in rare company. Those victories came against the very best fighters available at the time. Masvidal went on to say that if Ilia were to then move up again and defeat the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, someone who has been dominating for 4 or 5 years, it would be unreal. He described Makhachev as a fighter who crushes the biggest names, drags them into deep waters, and finishes them with ease. For Masvidal, beating a champion like that would complete the transformation of Ilia into a true mythological figure, someone remembered forever as one of the greatest to ever compete in the UFC. Moving on to another news. Robert Whittaker is targeting a return to the octagon in June 2026 and is seriously considering a move up to light heavyweight after revealing that he currently weighs around 235 pounds. Now 35 years old, Whittaker has been a fixture in the middleweight division for more than a decade, building his legacy through consistent performances and spectacular fights that earned him respect across the sport. Speaking openly about his situation, Whittaker made it clear that moving down in weight has become increasingly difficult. He explained that the last few weight cuts have been extremely hard, even though many people continue to label him as a small middleweight. According to him, he is simply short with stubby arms, and while he may not look massive, he is still a big guy for the division. He pointed out that even at middleweight, many opponents are taller than him, so moving up would not feel like a dramatic change in size. Whittaker emphasized how draining the process of cutting weight has become. He admitted that people do not realize how long it takes him to get his body down to the required limit. When asked how much he weighs between fights and training camps, he casually responded that he sits around 235 pounds. The reaction was immediate, with surprise at how naturally his body rests at that weight. Whittaker joked that it must be Islander blood, brushing it off with his usual relaxed attitude. When discussing the light heavyweight division, he said he feels it is wide open and full of good fights. He believes there are many opponents whose styles match well with his own, and that his skill set could allow him to compete successfully at that level. However, he also stressed that nothing is final yet. He plans to have several important conversations in the coming weeks, especially while spending time in Las Vegas, before making any firm decisions. Whittaker admitted that he is still open to being convinced either way. Part of his recent break from competition was spent reflecting on his future and questioning whether he wanted to keep putting his body through such intense camps. He described feeling extremely weak toward the end of middleweight training camps, especially during fight week, when he eats almost nothing, just to reach a point where he can begin cutting water. He explained that the entire process has started to take the fun out of fighting. Instead of enjoying preparation and competition, he often feels drained and miserable, by the time he steps into the cage. For Whittaker, moving to light heavyweight is not about chasing size or power, but about preserving his health, rediscovering enjoyment, and extending his career in a sustainable way. Moving on to another news. UFC heavyweight contender Tuivasa has broken his social media silence following his 6th consecutive loss at UFC 325. Despite the setback, Tai made it clear that he has no intention of giving up and remains determined to continue fighting in the UFC. In his statement, he expressed gratitude toward his supporters and shared his plans to keep improving. He tagged Khamzat and even asked him for wrestling lessons, showing his willingness to learn and evolve as a fighter. Tai wrote, "That hurts the soul more than any punches. I tried. I had a great camp. Looking forward to getting back in camp with the boys. So much to work on. Always big love to my supporters, especially the Aussie fans. The crowd always cheering me on. I'm sorry for falling short again." He also reflected on the lessons he hopes to pass along, adding, "Hey, my poor boy has watched me get it hitting a few too many times now. But just like I always tell him, as long as you give it all you have and keep trying, that's all that matters. As long as I'm doing this, I will always keep trying." Tai described spending meaningful time with his family during the camp and emphasized that results do not define his effort. "Had a great week together, taking him and showing the things. Didn't get the results, son, but this is how life goes sometimes. I hope I take all the losses for mine. Thanks to everyone that was involved and helped me during this camp and also during the time I had off. I love you all, and what you do for me never goes unnoticed." He also thanked his partner, saying, "My beautiful partner, thank you for looking after me and putting up with my it. I love you." Closing with determination, Tai addressed Khamzat directly, stating, "I'm coming to wrestle, brother. Teach me. I am sick of this cuddle." Tai's post reflects his resilient mindset, his commitment to growth, and the strong bond he maintains with both fans and family. Despite recent losses, he is focused on learning, improving, and staying active in the UFC, proving that his fighting spirit remains as strong as ever. Moving on to another news. With the UFC's new partnership with Paramount, many fans are beginning to wonder if fighter pay could finally see a meaningful increase. Following the latest UFC event, estimated payouts were released, taking into account sponsorship money, win bonuses, and performance awards. According to reports, Alexander Volkanovski is expected to earn between $1.6 and $2.5 million, reflecting his status as one of the promotion's biggest stars. Diego Lopez is projected to take home between $600,000 and $900,000, a strong payday that highlights his growing profile. Dan Hooker is estimated to make around $400,000 to $600,000, while his opponent Benoit Saint-Denis is expected to earn slightly less, although a performance bonus could help close that gap. Rafael Fiziev's earnings are projected to fall between $250,000 and $400,000. Meanwhile, Tai Tuivasa is expected to bring in between $300,000 and $500,000, reflecting both his popularity and his long tenure with the promotion. Overall, these figures suggest that major events continue to provide strong financial incentives for top-level fighters. Moving on to another news. After his recent win over Arnold Allen at UFC 324, John Silva has pushing hard toward a potential title fight with Alexander Volkanovski. The rising contender has made it clear that he believes he is ready for the biggest opportunity of his career, and he has been actively using social media to build momentum behind his name. On X, Silva shared a clip from a vlog in which Israel Adesanya suggested that Gene Silva versus Volkanovski is the fight to make. In the clip, Adesanya said that if Gene wins and Alex wins, that should be the matchup, even if it means Movsar and Lerone get overlooked once again. He admitted that it is part of the game, even though it can be frustrating, especially since Lerone probably deserved a title shot sooner. Adesanya added that Lerone should have fought Alex either that weekend or the following one, pointing out how tough the timing can be in the featherweight division. His comments quickly sparked debate among fans, with many questioning who truly deserves the next opportunity. Not long after, Alexander Volkanovski posted a vlog of his own, where he addressed the growing talk around a possible fight with Gene Silva. Volkanovski acknowledged that there has been a lot of noise surrounding the situation and suggested that Silva is likely trying to get his name out there and build hype. He explained that he has actually met Silva before, back in Miami, and that they got along well. According to Volkanovski, Silva seemed like a nice guy, and there were no issues between them at the time. However, he noted that Silva has recently been saying a few things that suggest he believes he deserves the next title shot. Volkanovski also mentioned some confusion surrounding past comments and whether they were taken out of context, particularly involving the Ruffy situation. He admitted that he is not sure if Silva is genuinely upset or if people have simply misinterpreted his words. While making it clear that he is always willing to fight anyone the UFC puts in front of him, Volkanovski said he does not believe a title fight with Silva is very likely right now. In his view, Silva is not yet in the right position, especially with Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev set to compete very soon. For Volkanovski, the current contender landscape makes the situation quite clear. Moving on to another news. In the same video, Alexander Volkanovski also took a moment to apologize to Diego Lopez for an awkward moment during their fight at UFC 325. Volkanovski explained that he did not realize he was actually sitting on Lopez's face during the exchange. He said he believed he was sitting on his chest, which is why he kept trying to throw punches backward, thinking Lopez's head was in front of him. He admitted he was confused about why his punches were not landing properly. Later, he realized that he was literally sitting on Lopez's face at the time. Volkanovski laughed about the situation and sincerely apologized, saying he thought Lopez's head was positioned further away and never intended to put him in that uncomfortable position.